Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to NS9 Live. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Jim. We have Ty. We have a Wednesday night. What's up, fellas?
What's going on? How we doing? Fresh off a Marlins series win.
Back-to-back victories. The Phillies, the Marlins, them Buccos are cooking.
We need to be back in the NL East.
Yeah, that's the problem. The NL Central is just too good.
Donnie Ball's here to stay.
It's good stuff. It's a really good feeling, guys. I mean, I enjoy watching the Pirates win baseball games. I don't know about you. I think this is kind of fun. Has anyone told Ben Cherington?
No.
So what's Don Kelly's record now?
It's got to be 16-15, right?
16 and 14?
15, because they lost yesterday.
What was yesterday?
The Marlins game.
Drawing a blank.
That they lost?
Yeah, I was on that.
I think he's one game over 500.
Yeah, okay. 16-15.
I don't know. But what is he in games he finishes?
Then I guess it'd be 16-12.
Yeah,
Well,
so
what about game?
He was 15-15 heading into today.
Yeah.
And so now he's 16-15. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Glad we came to that conclusion.
That was a lot.
And
of
an hour into the show, we're done now, guys. We've cleared up that
Great show.
15-14. 16-15. Yes. So I don't know. Again, like this is kind of cool. The Pirates are winning baseball games. Some offense is coming alive here. A little bit, barely. But I mean, the pitching's outstanding. The pitching has been tremendous. Even the bullpen's starting to come together for like those that matter. Again, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing better baseball. It's more enjoyable. Offense still stinks for the most part. I mean, they're still not scoring enough, but overall, they've been playing much more enjoyable baseball.
Yes, sir.
You know where I'm going to go. The bar was so incredibly low. Like, they were the worst baseball team I've ever seen in my life. So, yeah, they're playing better baseball now. Good job, fellas.
This is the
You
bar.
guys don't suck as much today.
Yeah, and what's funny,
They're
though,
playing
is like, I mean, we talked about this, like, when the change was made. It was like, this was Ben Cherington's card, was like, Don Kelly, name the manager. You start getting your better players up here. Like, Nick Gonzalez is back. Spencer Horwitz is here, which Spencer Horwitz hasn't been great by any means, but, you know, he's better than starting Jared Triolo at first base every day, right? So it's like, they've made improvements to the lineup. And then on top of that, the pitching has just been they've gone up a whole other level since before. I mean, Bailey Falter, the month of May that he put together, today's start, like he's been incredible. Paul Skeens has been better than ever, right? All those people who were talking about how like Paul Skeens needs to be better. Paul Skeens needs to be better. Well, he didn't need to be better, but he got better. And now he's just like otherworldly. I don't think he's given up more than one run in a start in like 6 games or something like that. So yeah, I mean they've been playing better baseball. It's been fun to watch.
They have. It's like you can disagree with a lot of things Donnie Kelly's done as a manager, but they are playing more enthusiastic, I guess, baseball. At least they look more competitive right now, and a lot of it does have to do with the fact that they just got some guys back. But also they are a touch more energized, it appears, from the outside looking in. Yeah, I mean, like, things are going to fall the way they fall. Like, the pitching staff is not going to pitch the way they have right now. But also, I don't think the hitters are going to be as awful as even now they've been. I think there's still some life there. Like, there's still some guys there that you can get a little more out of. I don't know. They're playing 500 baseball, and that's probably where they should be. With the way this roster is constructed, they're probably a 500 team.
Let me ask you guys this, because I think this is a fair question. And, you know, I put out a graphic yesterday just kind of showing, you know, Donnie Ball, the difference between Shelton and Don Kelly we know the records. When we look at the offense is now ranked 25th, with Shelton is ranked 28th. We look at the relievers, as far as ERA goes, 20th right now under Kelly. It was 20th under Derek Shelton. Not much of a difference. Well, literally no difference. We look at the starting pitching, though. Huge difference. Now, top of my head, I forget what it was with. I think it was like 18th or 20th, something around there with Shelton. And right now, it's the second best staff in baseball. The starting ERA right now under Don Kelly at 2.73. Number one is the Rangers at a 2.72. Do you think this is more of just your Bailey Falters, your Skeenses, your whomever just dominating, and they're just playing? Well, some are playing above their heads. Some are just the best pitchers in the world. And this is what it is. Do you think this is also maybe something to do with? Because Tyler, you've talked about it to some level here. Like, he's been very aggressive in like when he's pulling guys out and stuff. Do you think that's the way they're pitching too? Not all of it's obviously him, but helping that. Like, do you think you can tie that to Don Kelly? Is he getting guys out before they implode, where maybe Derek Shelton was leaving them in too long, going to the bullpen, being aggressive, making the right move?
Just trying to pull the math up here to see if they've scored more runs per game with Don Kelly. I don't know if anyone has those numbers. Have they, Jim?
They have, yeah.
What
I don't
are
have the
those
exact
numbers?
numbers, but I know when I was running it, like it's almost a full run more per game.
One of these websites needs to figure that out. Like, let me just get a exact split of that and not do math myself. But I do think, like, you mentioned the pitching's been outstanding. It's one of the best staffs in baseball right now since Don Kelly's taken over.
And that's why I asked that, because that's the biggest difference is the starting pitching. Right.
But I also think there's something to be said about scoring more runs because you're more aggressive, and Don Kelly has been more aggressive. Whether I think that's something that's going to continue over time, I don't know. Like, I think some of the things he's done is a little bit crazy, but you know what? It's working so far. I like the aggressiveness that he's shown, but like, I think a little bit of it's kind of crazy, and they've been carried a good bit by the pitching staff being just stupidly good.
Yeah.
Big old, I don't know.
I don't think the game, the runs haven't been too much different. It's a little bit higher, but not by a lot.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
No, I mean, the difference is the pitching. And I don't know if you can necessarily attribute that to Don Kelly. I don't think I do. I see where you're coming from, though, Donardo, with the quick hooks, but I also think that's more of a like a recent development. Like, I feel like he wasn't necessarily doing that the first couple weeks, and then this last week or two, you've seen like he's not really letting people get out of jams. Like, it's like, if you get in a jam, you're out. I'm bringing someone new in. And sometimes that's going to work. Sometimes that's not going to work. Like, we've seen Joey Wentz get put in with runners on base, and he gives up every run that's out there. We've seen Chase Shugart come in, and Shugart's done an excellent job at straining base runners. So I really just think the pitchers are pitching better. And like, let's be real, Bailey Falter's not a sub-2 ERA pitcher.
What?
So it's I don't know how long this lasts. Like, eventually the offense does need to get better. And I will say this, like, from an individual standpoint, the offense is getting better. Like, you look at since Don Kelly's taken over, let's go to today. Just from like who's playing, like Isaiah Kiner Falefa 122 weighted runs created plus, Adam Frazier 120, Brian Reynolds 116, Jared Triolo 115, Cutch 109, Cruz 108. That's dipped a little bit. Henry Davis 99, Canario 90. Like, none of those are like, no one's killing the ball since Kelly's taken over. But before, you just had a bunch of people who were being just pitiful, and now you've got more players who are hitting average or above average. I mean, Adam Frazier, Jared Triolo, Henry Davis, those three, and then throw Isaiah Kiner Falefa in there as well. Like, those four guys have hit a whole lot better in the last month. And that's making a difference. Oh, Brian Reynolds too. Like Brian Reynolds was terrible. And now Brian Reynolds is Brian Reynolds looks like Brian Reynolds again.
But it goes back to your point there originally, Jim, where like Ben Sherrington did set himself up. So that firing Derek Shelton at that time would make him look better. Because it was bound to happen. Like this team wasn't going to play the way they were. It's not quite possible to keep playing that way.
Yeah. Like this wasn't a 110 loss team, which is what they were playing at a pace like.
Not at all, for sure. Yeah, again, like I thought, that's kind of a fair question. That's the biggest difference when you look at the team overall, like as a group, and that is something we are seeing more of lately. And I think also you can kind of equate to it. Maybe it's who you're dealt with is who you're dealt with. But Shelton had Carmen Mlodzinski for the most of the point, and Donnie Kelly really hasn't had it. Mlodzinski, as a starter, and we know what Mlodzinski did, and you could equate that. Maybe Shelton left in Mlodzinski too long, but also at the same point in time, if that's leaving your guy in too long, it's not a starter. But I digress a little bit here. But yeah, again, Don Keller, we're going to keep talking about him. Obviously, I mean, this is a whole season upcoming of Don Kelly. Who is Don Kelly? Is this the guy that's going to lead the future? So, I mean, I think it's still fair to talk about him and whatnot. And again, the team is playing better. I think, you guys are absolutely correct. We've hit the head there. Like the firing of Shelton made a lot of sense. And the team, I just think, like you said, wasn't going to be this bad. So it's ultimately going to get better. How much better does make a difference, though? Like how much better they play with Don Kelly can make a big difference for things. But they're going to, and that's what's going to save Sherrington's job, like you say, blah, 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 whatever. But again, going to Don Kelly, what he's been doing, you see the leadership, you see the style he has. I mean, even guys talking, I know we always say too, like when things are going great, it's easy to talk good about people, right? But Adam Frazier talking about how, they love him. He keeps it loose. He's fun. They believe in him. He believes in them. Like, it just seems like it's a really, really good vibe right now with Don Kelly. So I guess putting it up there to you guys as well again, like right now at one time. Like what do you guys really think about Don Kelly? Do you think there really is a future with him? Or is this just like still a wait and see, whatever type of thing?
I think there's definitely still a wait and see. I mean, so far so good. Like I've enjoyed watching the team. And honestly, I want this team to win, but like at a minimum, at least make it so that it's not miserable and I want to claw my eyes out while watching them, right? Like that's like the minimum expectation is like, don't make me just completely depressed watching you, right?
Wow.
That's the minimum. Ideally, they're winning games. They're going to the playoffs. Like that's ultimately the goal. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the jury's still out. Baseball's a long, long, long season. You were kind of bound to have some sort of spark, like when this happened. Like anytime you make a big sweeping change like this, like I think there's going to be a little bit of a kick in the butt type thing. And so I think we're kind of still in that. I don't know if like the honeymoon phase is over or not. But I think you're seeing players at least respond to him, and you've seen players talk about how like they think they know he's got their back, right? And like getting ejected in that first game, and like getting ejected 3 times over like a 10-game span. I don't know if that's not sustainable. Like you don't want to get thrown out of 30% of your games, but the players I think immediately realized this guy's a little bit different than the last guy. Like if he feels like that we've been wronged, he's going to make sure that the umpires know about it. And I don't know if that has an effect on anything on the field, but I think there is something to the players maybe just got, and Neil Walker talked about this when he was on with us. Not that Derek Shelton's messaging was bad or he was saying anything different. It's just, it gets stale after a while. Like sometimes when you hear the same thing from the same people for so long, it's just that the messaging gets stale. And so now you've got a new person telling you what to do. And maybe the messaging is still the same, but it's just a different way, a different person delivering it to you. And sometimes you're just going to take that a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, like I'm with Jim. We'll see. I don't know. I have no idea. And it's a lame answer, but I don't know. And I think anybody that says they either believe or don't believe in Donnie Kelly right now, you're an idiot too, because you don't know either. None of us know.
Well, that's the rational way to put it.
Yeah, I'm rational.
Sure. But I mean, I'll say this, and I'm not saying that he's going to lead the club in the future, but I mean, so far, so good. So far, I do like what I see. The stuff that I think the manager like truly matters in, I feel like that's what you're seeing the biggest difference in. We're going to argue in-game decisions all day long, all year long, as same as every fan and every, analyst or whatever out there. That's what happens when you're a manager. That's going to happen. Right. But I think the stuff that's more important, that's what you're seeing. The stuff like this looks like a real baseball team now. It didn't before. Starting from the very first series, that Marlins series just looked atrocious. This team did not know how to play baseball. You don't really see that anymore. Every team's gonna have the occasional error. Every team's gonna have the occasional whatever, but like it's just not as noticeable. This team looks like they're prepared to play baseball every day. A little bit more of a lively bunch. Like the team needs to be better. It's still not that great of a team, and that's more of the GM part. But the stuff that the manager has to do, so far I'm kind of liking. Again, it's new. It's a new leader. It's the honeymoon phase. You expect this to happen. What happens now in July and August and September, right, with this club? That's when like it really matters. Notice stuff. Can he sustain that? But again, so far I do like Don Kelly, what he brings to the club. So
you just said it there though, Donardo. Like, talk to me in August.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anybody knows until like later in the year. Because you both mentioned it. The honeymoon phase right now is happening. We're all having fun with Don Kelly. They're a 500 baseball team. They're probably where they should be right now with him. Let's see what happens when he has to face some adversity as manager. When it's not just like everyone's happy to be here with you because like we're going to fight for our guy that's fought for us. Our manager already got fired. At some point, that's going to wear off. So we're going to see what happens probably later in the year. How does he have these guys respond at that point? We'll see.
Excuse me.
That was a great hiccup.
Came out of nowhere. Good stuff. No, I agree. Guys, I'll tell you what. Where are you guys going to be tomorrow?
Chicago.
Cubs Pirates game, huh?
Cubs.
You guys going to be in Chicago. That's cool. Where did you get your tickets?
SeatGeek.
No, you didn't. Did you, Jim?
I did.
Well, did you know that tonight's show is brought to you by SeatGeek, Jim? Whether you're hitting up PNC Park, Wrigley Field, or catching a concert, SeatGeek makes buying tickets simple. And even better, they're hooking you up. Use promo code NorthShore9 for $20 off your first purchase. That's NorthShore9, one word. Shout out to SeatGeek and the sponsors of the show. So, guys, if you want to go to Wrigley Field with Tyler and Jim tomorrow, you don't. But if you have the courage to, go ahead and get your tickets at SeatGeek. Use the code NorthShore9. Get $20 off. We saved you some money. Don't say we never did anything for you.
They should want to go with us. We're pretty awesome.
It's debatable.
In fact, Donardo's not there, Jim. If you're planning a trip with the North Shore 9 crew, what better group to go with?
Don't worry. I'm back here.
Doug and Neil
I'm still working on like you two.
Yeah, Doug and Neil come along with me.
Yeah, they'd be a great group. But Jim and Ty, close number 2.
Yep.
Donardo sucks.
You know what happened today?
What happened today?
Andrew McCutchen hit a home run. And he surpassed Roberto Clemente on the home run list. And the most Yinzer of Yinzers got the baseball. I couldn't watch the game today, guys. As you know, it worked. I didn't see it, but I saw the highlights. I saw the clip. I don't know what was better, Cutch hitting that or seeing the guy who got the baseball. I think that was the most wholesome part of the day.
That was great. It was Jim sitting above the north side notch.
Of course it was.
he dropped that. He was I loved how he was like, nah, ball means more to him than it means to me. He's like, but I think I'm gonna shortchange myself.
I loved it.
And he's like, I'm gonna need to win the 50-50. I was like, hell yeah, Jim, win that 50-50. I don't think he did though. We should have I think I've already made my thoughts well known that I think 50-50s are a scam. Because I've never won a 50-50.
I've watched this dude buy so many 50-50s.
That's the thing.
Every
I
time
buy,
I've ever been with Jim Rosati, he has bought a 50-50.
I buy 50-50 tickets almost every game I'm at, and I've never won. So therefore, it's got to be a scam.
Well,
Like
I'll
you
take it
got to
one step
imagine
further.
you'd win at some point.
I'll take it one step further. You've never won. Big deal. Have you ever met anyone who won?
Never met anybody who won.
Tyler, have you ever met anyone who won? I've never met anyone who's won
Yeah.
50-50.
So I think they're
It's a
just
scam.
pocketing. I think they're just pocketing the other 50.
It's brilliant, honestly, especially in this day and age when you can just find your numbers online. Or whatever. Yeah, sure. Oh, the winner will find it at home. Don't worry. Big deal. It's a scam. It's 100-0.
Greg says he's never won a sandwich. Is that a scam?
But Greg, have you met someone who has?
That's true. There have been real people have won sandwiches, whereas I don't think a real person's ever won a 50-50 raffle. At least not a Pirates related 50-50 raffle.
I've never
Total
met
scam.
someone who has met like a real deal 50-50.
Yeah. Scam. So what we need to do is one of
Everyone's
these
going out
days
of
though,
sell
Jim
sandwiches.
needs to win that 50-50 though. So no, it couldn't have gone to a better guy. I thought it's always a cool moment when stuff like that happens. You know, I've always kind of thought like, what would I do if I caught like a momentum, like a really memorable home run ball by Andrew McCutchen? And I'd be like, absolutely. I'd just be like, dude, like you've done way more for me than I've done for you. So like, here, have it. So.
Buddy, if I would have caught that base.
Now, you'd probably
no.
hold it ransom. You'd be like, no, here's what you need to do. You'd be like,
This
you need
would
to unblock
be
me on
tie-tie.
Twitter. Be like,
Who
you need
would
to
like
unblock
to come
me
to
on
the
Twitter.
king?
Yeah. There'd be no
And
money
then-
involved. It would just be a list of chores for Andrew
Yeah.
McCutchen to do.
Yeah.
You'd be like, all right, and then you have to be a weekly guest on the show.
Yep.
Recurring weekly guest. He'd be like, you know what? Keep the ball.
Yeah.
Andrew McCutchen would be mowing my yard.
I
Why not?
wouldn't do that to you, Cutch.
no, I wouldn't do that.
No,
Why
I
would
couldn't
you
do
do
that to him.
that? That's
Mindless,
No,
stupid things.
I'd just probably ask for like a signed autograph or something, or just hand it to him and be like, "No, it's okay. I love you." That's probably what I would do. I'd
No,
probably just run up to Andrew McCutchen and be like, "Nope, I love you. It's yours."
I'd make him publicly recognize why DiNardo is blocked by him on Twitter.
Fair.
And like let's have McCutchen like record some videos of how much he hates DiNardo.
Every week we get a cameo
Yeah.
from Cutch. Just saying how
Every
much he
yeah, it's
hates
like an
me.
unlimited cameo.
That's it. I would appreciate that. That's the deal.
I would pay
like
a
that.
stupid amount of money to have Andrew McCutchen tell DiNardo he's ugly every week of my life.
I'm down for it. But like for real, could you imagine? Like we're talking about the story about this guy Jim who got the baseball. Like, what if the next story was, yeah, some guy named Anthony DiNardo caught the baseball, and he said he wants Cutch to tell him he's ugly every week. You know what I mean? That was
Or-
the deal.
Some guy named Tyler caught it, and all he wants out of this is to call some other dude ugly.
Yeah,
Every
And you
day.
guys need to keep believing.
but that would be great. Imagine that story.
Just like he has a walk off, and he's talking to Hannah Mears, and also DiNardo's ugly.
That's what it is. Every post game interview, he's got a
Leave it.
What was
with
that? Mary
DiNardo
Tyler
is ugly.
Moore, how she like signaled to her mom after every show. Like every post game, Cutch has to say, DiNardo, you're ugly.
I love it.
Anyways. So
No, that was cool. And it seems to have sparked yet another Andrew McCutchen Hall of Fame debate as well. Which,
Yeah, you're all over that. You've been
Yeah.
all over that on Twitter, I've noticed.
I mean, it's one of those deals where it like depends on like what do you want the Hall of Fame to be? You know, is the Hall of Fame a super exclusive club? Like, should Dave Parker be in the Hall of Fame? If Dave Parker should be in the Hall of Fame, then Andrew McCutchen should be in the Hall of Fame. If you don't think Dave Parker should be in the Hall of Fame, then I could see your argument about McCutchen. But some things like today, like you talk about, like it was actually Bucko Mike. Bucko Mike goes, McCutchen was never the best player.
Tweeted, by the way.
Bucko Mike was like never. He was never the best player in the league. Well, between 2011 and 2015, the 5-year span, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He was the best player in the National League. And he was second in the majors only to Mike Trout. That's great. Thank you, Bucko Mike.
Only Bucko Mike.
But yeah, I think people forget how good Andrew McCutchen was, like in those prime 5 years. I mean, it's Mike Trout 38.5 WAR during that time period. Andrew McCutchen 34.2, and that's Buster Posey 32.5, and then Miguel Cabrera 32.2. Like you're talking Trout, McCutchen, Posey, Cabrera. I feel like the other three are Hall of Famers. Like they're Hall of Famers. No one's making any sort of argument there. Andrew McCutchen should get a little bit more recognition than he is, just because of how good he was. Like he was the best player in the National League over a 5-year span, and he's kept it up for a pretty long time. Like he didn't keep up the elite numbers for a really long time, but he's been a solid player for his entire career.
Kind of like Parker.
Well, Parker fell off. Like Parker's second half of his career was terrible.
Yeah.
Like
No,
McCutchen's
been
back
better,
half. McCutchen's back half has been better than Parker's back half.
I guess
and
what I was
that's why-
alluding to more of is Parker had the intense peak, and then because of the longevity of his career, it gave him the counting stats to be that borderline.
So like I do think McCutchen's borderline. It's just I don't think you can dismiss his Hall of Fame case. That's all. Like I think there's very much a conversation to be had. And depending on how you look at it, you could be swayed either way.
Jim's right. Like, and I hate the fact that I have to say that, but personally, I probably would not have put Dave Parker in, just because my line for the Hall of Fame is a little bit higher. I think you need to be like the best of the best to get in. I think it's fine if you go a year and you don't have someone get in because they're not deserving. That's fine. The way they've done the Hall of Fame is stupid. We've talked about that enough. I don't need to get into that, but the way it's all kind of laid out right now, I kind of do agree with Jim, where you got to at least give him a look now. Like the other guys getting in, like Buster Posey, I put Andrew McCutchen right in line with that. Like Posey will get in, and I put Cutch right there with him. Like I'm sorry, I don't think Buster Posey gets in ahead of Andrew McCutchen. I don't. I think they should go in together. I don't think Buster Posey was that great. He was fine.
That's a hot
He was
take.
good. He was really good. I'm sorry. He was really good. Yeah, I spoke out of turn there. I'm sorry. What I mean to say there with that was that I don't think he was that much better than Andrew McCutchen, where you just Posey's in, Cutch. Yeah, we'll think about it. No, I think they're in the same category. I just spoke out of turn a little bit there.
No, I get it. I know where you're going with it.
No, I just
think
get
I
angry
kinda
and I say
disagree
things.
with that, but that's also it's debatable. Like it's not that far off. I mean, that's close, and I think that's doing more of the case of stating Andrew McCutchen is that close. And I guess the other thing too to kind of point out, what I think a lot of people are just also dismissing, like it's not over yet. It's not over yet. That peak is always going to be there. So if you're always going to go back to that peak, like you did with Dave Parker and such, like that peak is always there. But the counting numbers, they're not going anywhere yet. Like he could have another year still. He could be back next year, guys. And the way he's playing this year so far right now, too. I mean, again, like he's going to add on a whole other year this year for those numbers. If he adds on another one next year, like he's going to get closer and closer to that debatable point there. And if we're already debating right now, like what's another year and a half going to do for him?
I mean, if he goes one more year, he's probably hitting 350 homers.
He's at 324 or 325 right now.
He's getting the 2,300 hits. Like he's getting to the I think, like I said, I think he's already in the territory where it's like this is worthy of a serious discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And that just has to do with he's been doing this now for 17 seasons, and that peak was really freaking good. It was really good. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting case, and like I think what he does these last years are like it's a nice bow on top, but ultimately what's going to get him in is 2011 to 2015. What's going to keep him out is 2016, COVID, knee injury. Like those are the three things that are sort of hampering him right now. But like, I don't know, you look at how good he's been. I mean, he's been a good player for a really long time now, and he was the best in the National League for a while.
Right.
So it's going to make an interesting case, and like I said, his case isn't done yet.
Right.
I just don't think you can dismiss it.
No.
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah, and I think the big problem with it all is just going to be the fact that the Hall of Fame's been so inconsistent with everything. They're just all over the place with who they're letting in. In all reality, like if Harold Baines is in, Andrew McCutchen's in.
Well,
like,
I think that's the
not be
thing. Like,
stupid here.
yeah,
That's
like
the
if
anomaly.
the line is
It is.
everyone better than Harold Baines is in, then you got to open the doors for a lot of people. I think that was probably a mistake letting Harold Baines in. Like Harold Baines
It
had a
was a
really
recent
good,
mistake
really
too,
long
though.
career. Yeah, like Harold Baines had a really long career where he was good. But like Baines never had the peak, that McCutchen had. So yeah, if you're comparing him to Baines, it's like McCutchen's twice the player Baines was.
You're right, but also like you throw. I mean, he's going to be in line with a Tim Raines. He'll be relatively close to that. Raines will be more valuable, but yeah, there's definitely an argument. Like, there's a good argument, I think.
Yep. Again, I think it's totally fair. I don't think either side has that strong of a case to just show the other side's stupid. I think it's debatable. And again, it's not over yet. And I think that's the side, like with Jim's part, right? If you're debating that he has a case to be in there, it's also not done yet. Just his career is still going on. Those counting numbers are still going on. Let's find out what happens. But it's certainly debatable. Me personally, I don't think he gets in. If so, it's probably going to be like a Dave Parker thing. It's going to be after some time. But let's find out. Because that's the cool thing. And that's why I want to bring it up. We keep bringing it up. And for the people that talk about like he shouldn't be here as a DH, like he's still doing it and at a good level. This isn't just, Andrew McCutchen, let's try to get him into the Hall of Fame and give him some stats and numbers. Like he says he wants to be here. He says he wants to be here to actually compete and try to win games. That's what he's doing. And the Pirates don't win today if he doesn't hit that home run. I mean, I understand it's $5 million. He's a DH only for the most part, but it's a 113 weighted runs created plus right now. Like he's 13% better than the average hitter in baseball. This is a guy who's washed. He's still performing.
I mean, like we talked about it last year. Like Todd Helton got in.
Yeah.
Is Andrew McCutchen that much different than Todd Helton?
No.
Like cores.
Yeah, like he's got
like if Andrew McCutchen was at Coors Field, yeah. Like what
yeah,
could he have
like
done?
this is the guys they've let in. Andrew McCutchen's a Hall of Famer. Sorry, like there's no. Personally, no, not for me. If I'm making my own little Hall of Fame, Tyler's Hall of Fame, no, he's not. But in the MLB Hall of Fame, yeah, he is.
If I'm making a gym Hall of Fame, it's Andrew McCutchen. Actually, it's going to be called the Andrew McCutchen Memorial Hall of Fame.
So we got to wait till he dies to do it. It's a memorial.
So Andrew McCutchen would be the first induction into the Hall of Fame, and then once he passes, it becomes the Andrew McCutchen Memorial Hall of Fame. Yeah.
Do me a favor, right? because you open this up saying about something you want to see the Hall of Fame do. If you're going to do that, can you also do it in an area that has a McDonald's
or like a hotel?
Yeah,
Like
do
one
that
or
part
two
too.
hotels.
Like if there's like the biggest gripe I think on this, like it's so baseball. It's just so baseball. Like
You know
everyone
what,
knows
though?
the NFL Hall of Fame and where it's located and all that stuff. And then there's
The NFL Hall of Fame is also just in a small town in rural Ohio. Like
Canton's bigger than that, though.
Canton's bigger than Cooperstown, but it's still It's not
I
like
get it. I get
big
it.
city.
But it's like this is out and just like completely nowhere.
That's what makes it so charming, DiNardo.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Cooperstown?
I haven't, but I'm trying to book something for it, and it's terrible.
Yeah, so it's great. I wouldn't change Cooperstown at all.
Okay. Well,
for the record, I live like 30 minutes from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I've been there one time in my life. Don't care.
Well, you don't really have to. It's not really a place you would go all the time.
There's been a lot of Steelers inducted.
There's been a lot of Steelers inducted.
Still not going.
Yeah.
I got better stuff to do.
But no, I wouldn't change anything about the Hall of Fame because I don't want the Hall of Fame being in like New York.
No, I'm good with it being
dumb.
in Cooperstown. Cooperstown's perfect, actually.
I'm talking about New York City. When you're talking about
New York City,
there's New York City, and then there's the rest of New York. The rest of New York's just like
I want to go no city slicker.
No, I wouldn't.
Cooperstown.
I'm with Jim. I would not move the Hall of Fame ever. I think Cooperstown's perfect. Like
perfect.
Cooperstown means something. Like you're going to Cooperstown. Like same thing with Canton. You're going to Canton. That means something. Like you're not going to Jacksonville.
Well, I wish it meant something for Cooperstown. Then give us somewhere to go.
Like nobody's going
to
your economy thrive.
That's the whole point. They've got a nice lake.
Also, they definitely do say you're going to Canton.
Bed and breakfasts. Just stay at a bed and breakfast.
Yeah. Do that.
Here, I'm on Google Maps right now. We've got the Cooperstown bed and breakfast. It's top rated. 4.9 stars.
How many beds does it have? 7?
I don't know. Probably like 7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Chicago's going to be sweet.
Let's move on.
Chicago has hotels. Cool. Yeah.
But let's talk about a few things here. Let's go on the pitching side a little bit. Kind of throw this all together here. Mitch Keller is 1-9, tied for the second most quality starts in baseball. He's doing Mitch Keller stuff. He's been fine this year. He's been good. Carmen Mlodzinski gets the call. Kyle Nicolas is being optioned down. Big article. Carmen Mlodzinski doesn't want to be a reliever. He wants to be a starter. And Ben Cherington says, go ahead. Fine. Have at it. Be a starter. And you're going to be a starter. Jim, you and I talked about this on Buck Up Brew and how both sides were at fault. And then lo and behold, I don't know, Jim, a few days after that article comes out, Carmen Mlodzinski wants to be a reliever. It sounds like he's coming up and being a bulk reliever now. Funny how that happens. But yeah, again, interesting though. Interesting. Because again, and that's what we talked about. Like we're not going to see reliever Carmen Mlodzinski this year. It's been determined he's going to be a starter. That's it, where he could help out this team. Now he's going to come up here. You already have Ashcraft here. Now you're getting Carmen Mlodzinski, 2 guys in this bulk relief role. Kind of interesting as well. So where do we want to go here? Do we want to talk about Keller first and just how weird this is, or about the Carmen stuff?
Let's talk about Carmen because he was 100% cyberbullied into doing this. Like that's exactly what happened here, right? Like that. I think, are we all in agreement that this is what happened?
It has to be, right?
Carmen Mlodzinski was like, I'm a starting pitcher. I'm going to be a starter. And Ben was like, okay, well, you're a starter and that's dumb. Right. And he's like, but if you want to be a starter, you're going to be a starter. And so then Carmen showed that he wasn't a major league starter. And instead of going to the bullpen, he was like, nope, I'm still a starter. Ben was like, all right, well, if you're a starter, you're a AAA starter because you're not a major league starter. But guess what? You can help us out in the bullpen if you're a reliever and you are a major league reliever. And I think he was just kind of like, I'm almost like 95% sure this is exactly what happened. Like he was like, I'm a starter. Then Ben Sherrington, for some reason, talked about this to, it was Noah Hiles who wrote the article. Alex Stumpf also with the tweet about like what Braxton Ashcraft's mindset and Carmen Mlodzinski's career goals led to this. Like, Ben Sherrington played the Pittsburgh media to get this wish. And like, usually I'm very anti Ben Sherrington, but this was like, Ben was playing chess here. Ben's like, I'm going to make Carmen Mlodzinski look terrible until he's basically like, oh crap. Now I look like I'm not a team player because obviously I could help the team right now being a relief arm. And my general manager just told everyone that I don't want to be a reliever. I want to be a starter. And I think he caved. I think that I really think that's just what happened here. Is you had this come out over the weekend, and then you had, it was, you know what it was? It was our Bucko Brew episode just pushed it over the edge.
Right. Clearly. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And like, for all those people that say bullying doesn't work,
and you guys need to keep believing.
one for the bullies.
We don't do that out here.
But I do. Honestly, like, it just, the timing of everything just seems so perfectly aligned that it's like, okay. Yeah, you know what? I got a story for you guys. Who won? Yeah, let me tell you what Carmen and I discussed.
You're such an asshole. I love you for it. Loser. You're all a bunch of losers. All right, let me get together here for a second.
Yeah, but like, the timing of this is just, I mean, it's incredible timing. And like, I'm like 99% sure that this is exactly what happened.
No, I'm with Jim. Like, that's got to be exactly what happened. Carmen Mlodzinski was literally bullied into doing what's best for the team. From everything we've seen and from the way this entire thing is shaken out, there's no reason for Carmen Mlodzinski to go down the AAA and go be a starter down there. Zero reason, unless he demands he's a starter. Like, I'm with Jim. I don't want to give Ben Sherrington credit, but that's exactly how you handle that. You let the world know this guy's being an asshole. If that's the case of what happened, we don't know yet for sure. And we'll probably never know, but based upon what we've read in the situation that's laid out, it looks like Carmen Mlodzinski was being a little bit of a baby and didn't want to be in the bullpen. And Ben Sherrington kind of told everyone that. Now Carmen Mlodzinski is not being a baby and magically in the bullpen. I'm not great at math, but 2 and 2 does plus equal 4.
Does. But you're right.
Does plus.
He's like, if you want to be a starter,
I mean, go ahead and adjust. Good luck.
I hate my life so much.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, I think it was kind of funny how it all came about. But ultimately, I think we're getting what's best for the team. And I think we're getting what's best for Carmen. Like, I think he's getting what's best for him. I understand the opportunity that starting pitching presents, but like, he's going to go out there now and probably be a really good asset to this club and help his cause for the future to be a good player. And although I want to say this, though, again, it's kind of interesting. I thought he would be really good in like this Luis Ortiz type of role. I think Braxton Ashcraft would be really, really good in that Luis Ortiz type of role, right? That bulk reliever. Well, now there's 2 guys, and like you have Mitch Keller, you have Paul Skeens who's going to his innings. It's not like you have a rotation that's hurting to get you innings for the most part. So how are you going to utilize 2 bulk guys here?
I think just utilize them. And I think bulk can be used in many ways. Like, Braxton Ashcraft came in today and faced 3 batters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to pitch 2 or 3 innings every time you come in. Like, you can just go with the best guy available. But it does, I think I think Carmen Mlodzinski is best suited, honestly, for just like a back end, high leverage bullpen role. Like, I think his stuff's really good. I think he can get hitters out. I think he can get really good hitters out. And like, if it's a 1-run game in the 8th inning, I have no problems going to Carmen Mlodzinski in that situation. Like, I would rather go to Mlodzinski over everybody but Dennis Santana and David Bednar, probably. That's like, I would put Carmen Mlodzinski as my 3rd most trusted reliever right now.
Would you trust Ashcraft over him?
I'm getting to that point. I really like Ashcraft and what we're seeing, but no, I mean, Mlodzinski's shown that Mlodzinski's just proven it longer. And I think what we even saw out of him this year almost like reinforces that, where, man, this guy could be really good like the first time through. And that's, yeah. So like when it comes to high leverage bullpen arms, there are 5 guys now in that bullpen where I feel like pretty comfortable about, if you throw in Ashcraft and Ferguson into that mix.
Can I be honest? Like, I don't really want either of these guys to be bulk guys. I don't want either of them to throw bulk innings. I want them to let it fly. And I agree with Jim about Mlodzinski. I want to see him in a late inning role. But even like Ashcraft, I kind of want to see him in more high leverage spots. Like the bulk guys that transition back to starters, they don't really work out. The Corbin Burns of the world that go in and, you give them an inning or so, or there are a lot of examples of it. And I think Ashcraft is more of that role where he's a reliever or he's a starter turn reliever that could go back to a starter. Mlodzinski's just a reliever. I don't think there's a question about that. I think there's something with Ashcraft where he kind of fits that Clay Holmes kind of mold a little bit, where like he's not a failed starter yet because he hasn't started in the majors, but there's a little bit more in the starter repertoire with a Braxton Ashcraft than there is a Carmen Mlodzinski. So I think maybe in a year or so, we could be talking about Ashcraft going back into the rotation like a Ronaldo or Lopez, those guys that we've seen happen lately. Mlodzinski, you got bumped from a starter in Double-A. Get the hell out of here. You're not a starter. Like, this isn't working. You couldn't get minor leaguers out as a starter. Go away. Go be a reliever. Have fun.
Now, I'll say this. He looked good in AAA as a starter.
Whatever.
And I think, like, I'm not going to be that dismissive. Like, I think there's something there. It's just that, like, for this team right now, he's best suited in the bullpen. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be revisited next spring. Like, hey, next spring, if there's a couple of rotation spots open, sure, let's open it up. The winner of Mlodzinski, Ashcraft, and Burrows can get a spot, or however you want to look at it. But like right now, Carmen Mlodzinski helps this team more being a reliever than starting games in AAA and being depth down there. Because like you mentioned before, like they've got depth. They've got 7 starters in their pitching staff right now. Like, I mean, if you wanted to hand the ball to Ashcraft or Mlodzinski, if you want to call him a starter, and you'll say, hey, I can at least get 4 innings out of this guy. There's 7 guys on their team right now who can do that. And then you can also go into AAA and find 2 more if you really need more. So, yeah, like help this team out right now. And the best way to do that is out of the bullpen.
So neither of you took the bait. And this is why I did present it in that way. Just throwing it out there. I'm not saying this is by design, just coincidence, but 2 bulk guys I mentioned. We've already seen a little bit of aggressiveness from Don Kelly. We started the show off with the way he's pulling these starters. Does this give him that leeway now? Or are we going to continue to see Donnie ball? Are we going to see, hey, Burrows went 4.1, getting you out of here? Hey, today's the day Bailey Falter doesn't have it, getting you out of here. Because now he has 2 guys that have been starters to some level, right? Like, I don't think, like you guys have said, 2-3 innings from either of these, I don't have a problem with, generally speaking. Is this going to give Don Kelly that upper hand to be aggressive still? Or do you think it is what it is, like what you guys talked about?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is what it is. Like, I don't think this move was specifically made so that Don Kelly can have quick hooks. it does give him a little bit more flexibility to do so that like, hey, I do have a starting pitcher, or like Burrows the other night, who was seemingly rolling, but pulled him in the 5th inning. You were able to get through that, and your bullpen's pretty fully intact because you've got a guy who can throw 2 innings, and then that bridges that gap from those middle innings to your back end. Yeah, it definitely gives him the flexibility to do it. Now, it's not, let's not pretend like he didn't have, I mean, he had Wentz before, which I guess was the one, and Matson, had done that. But I mean, he had Wentz and Ashcraft; those were 2, and then they sent Wentz packing. But yeah, I don't know if this adds. I don't know if this. I don't know if this necessarily adds anything to it, but it definitely provides him more flexibility to do that.
Yeah, I think it's like it's an added bonus. Maybe like if we really want to say if Don Kelly had something to say about it, maybe like he wanted them to get their best arms up here. And obviously, I haven't done that completely yet, but I mean,
we don't do that here either.
Right. But I mean, maybe he wanted, or maybe he asked for, I don't know what he did. None of us know, but they got some of their best arms into the bullpen. And it might be as simple as that, where like these, however many guys are the best we have. These are the guys that are going to be in the bullpen. Also, it could be a Ben Cherington, like, oh shit, I better pay attention a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it could be Ben's like, hey, I need to win some games, so let me get my best.
I should probably be a little bit better here.
Yep. Yeah. Again, I do find that it's interesting. Again, Don Kelly has been pretty aggressive. These 2 are going to allow him to continue that if he wants to be, truthfully. And so maybe we'll see more aggressive pulls from Don Kelly.
I think it's an interesting thought, though, that you mentioned. Like having 2 long guys and the way he's had the quick hook.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's something to watch.
All right. Do we want to go into the Cubs preview here then? Or do we want to talk about anything else?
Let's do the Cubs preview.
Yeah, I don't plan on remembering any of this series.
Yeah. Well, luckily for us, neither of you are doing any post-game shows.
You're welcome.
The rest of NS9 will be here working hard. So
4 days in a row.
Good. You deserve to be. It's about time you did something here. But no, you guys can be there. Which also,
no respect.
They're so mean.
Have some fun. I hope you too. I'm just saying, I hope you guys enjoy yourself. I take that back. But no, I hope you guys enjoy yourself. I'll be in Wrigley. And it's now will be there a little bit here. And if you guys, anyone's in Wrigley watching the games,
I hope that John leaves your clothes in the washer and doesn't dry them.
Okay, Bucko Mike. But yeah, let's talk about this Cubs series because I feel like this is Tyler coined it, heat check with the Padres won. Pirates are still playing pretty good. And like the Phillies, it's a good team, right? That's a good team. The Marlins, certainly not a good team, but they took 2 out of 3. They swept the Phillies. Now they're going to be playing Chicago in Chicago. Cubs, I mean, we want to talk about night and day of offenses. The Cubs have a really good offense, but the Pirates have a really, really good rotation. Guys, Chicago Cubs, Pittsburgh Pirates. Pirates kind of hot right now. What do you think about the series?
The one thing, like I feel like the Cubs are the kryptonite. Like they have been Ben Cherington's kryptonite. I don't know the record right off the top of my head, but I bet if you look at the Pirates versus Cubs since 2020, it's bad. I'll bet it's pretty bad. And I guess we could find this out relatively.
I'm looking up right now.
So yeah, it's a heat check. Like the team's playing what the team is playing pretty well right now. The Cubs are clearly the class of the NL Central. Like they are the best team since 2020.
By the way,
record.
Pirates are 28-49 versus the Cubs since 2020.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Terrible.
So 21 games.
And by the way, that was the Cubs were also a rebuilding team somewhere in there also.
So like it's not even close. Like the Cubs have just completely destroyed the Pirates in the Cherington era. But yeah, I mean the Pirates pitching, they've got Heaney, Skeens, Burrows, Keller going. I'm excited to see Skeens face Cade Horton. That's a pretty fun matchup. Cade Horton's a top prospect as well. He graduated. He hasn't graduated quite yet. He's getting there, but a number 55 prospect in baseball. He's the Cubs' number 3 prospect, 2022 7th overall pick. So that'll be a fun little pitching matchup there. But yeah, this Cubs offense. Ian Happ. We know what he does with us. Kyle Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong are MVP candidates right now. Seiya Suzuki's killing the ball. This offense is insane. Dansby Swanson started off like pretty cold. I think he was hurt for a while, but now he's playing really well again. Michael Bush is hitting. Nico Horner's hitting. Carson Kelly's cooled off a little bit, but still like 147 weighted runs created plus. Like, my God. Matt Shaw is the weak link, the rookie third baseman, and he's still like a league average hitter. Like there's no one in this lineup who you can just say, all right, you know what, that's an out. They're good. They're good. So the pitching is gonna have to be on. Hopefully the wind's blowing in when the Cubs are up and blowing out when the Pirates are up. And that ends up being the difference. But I think you got to be pretty happy if you can walk away with a split here.
Yeah. And I mean, they have some good arms going, the Pirates do. I mean, you avoid Bailey Falter, I guess. Like Falter, Burrows. You probably want Falter pitching there, but
oh yeah,
you got Skeens going, you got Keller. You hope to get 2 out of that, and I know Mitch Keller's record's been atrocious, but you've got your arms going a little bit. We'll see what happens. I'm not very hopeful, guys. I'm not.
I know me personally, I have not had much
I'm
luck.
going with Jim.
And I have not had much luck in Wrigley Field.
Or ever.
Yeah.
There was, I've had some nightmares in Wrigley Field, to be honest. I've been to a game. I've been to
23rd.
games.
2022. Jim tweets out, "Let's go Bucks." From Wrigley Field. Chat, do you know what the score was that game? Jim, do you remember what the score was that game?
21-2.
No, off by 2 runs. 21-0.
I left in the second inning, so I don't remember. I literally left in the second. That's the quickest I've ever left a baseball game. The second inning, I left that game.
It's probably the smartest
Yes, sir.
decision you've ever made.
And then I watched the rest
21.
of it from the bar with some buddies.
Nothing.
Yeah, that was bad. But I think we won the next game.
The Cubs had 23 hits.
Actually, I want to say
Pirates,
we won that series.
3.
I want to say we won that series.
As far as the series goes, they did.
Yeah, like I
wait,
I think I saw 2 wins.
Did you
I think I
attend
saw
the other
2 wins.
games?
Yeah, like they went 2-1 while I was there, but one of the games was.
But what was the run differential in those 3 games?
Oh, I'm
That's
sure it
what's
was
funny.
bad.
So they won the first game 4-2, and they won Sunday's game 4-3, but they lost 0-21 that game.
Yeah. No, so that's been I've had a tornado warning happen while I was at Wrigley Field.
Oh, that's right.
Like sirens were going off. I thought I was gonna die. Like the fire station right across the street was like they were like stuff was going down. So there was that. I saw, remember that game, that walk-off last year where Michael A. Taylor threw the ball and Joey Bart dropped it at home plate? Like that would have ended the game.
Yeah.
I was at that game. So like I've had some rough moments at Wrigley Field.
That was a bad call too, I think.
It was.
Bet online. The game starts here.
Yeah. You know what? It's all going to turn around though, because Tyler's going to be there with
That's
me.
right.
And you know what? We're going to sweep them.
And I went 1-1 over the weekend. Brewer Series went 1-1. Yeah, I'm hanging around.
True.
I'm Donnie Kelly. 500 baseball, baby.
Kelly pilled, baby.
Yeah. Let's just split this though. Let's
Yeah.
win. Let's win a couple starts. Let's split it. Let's win the
Yeah.
skiing start. And then we need to get Mitch Keller a win.
Yeah.
We got to get Mitch Keller.
Then, like at that
win.
point, if you
Yeah.
get Mitch Keller a win and you get Paul Skeens a win, you might as well just go get another.
Might as well get an Andrew Heaney win.
You
too.
might as well just get a Heaney win or a Burrows. Like, why not?
One of the two.
He might.
And then
go
if
well.
you're doing that, you might as well just sweep.
Yeah, at that point.
Hey, why not
Might
us?
as well
And
just
could
have
you
four.
imagine being a pitcher and watching Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller get a win and you not? I mean, how pathetic is that?
And you guys needed to keep believing.
So yeah, go out there and just get the sweep. But it
That's
is
it.
cool that again, Mitch Keller and Paul Skeens will be pitching. So there is a chance. Not really, I guess.
I'm just saying, if they do sweep the series, I'm gonna have to be attached to Jim's hip forever.
Bucko Mike says that you're not helping the Rosati.
We'll see. We'll see. And either way, I'm gonna have fun.
It'll
That's
be a
all that
fun
matters.
weekend.
We're gonna have fun.
I hope both
Yeah,
teams have
it'll be
fun.
good. It'll be
And
a good
it's
weekend.
not in the big city.
It is going to be the weather is taking a turn.
Yeah, it is.
Like I
Doesn't
think
look
it's
good.
supposed to rain kind of all
Constantly.
weekend, which kind of sucks.
Literally the entire time.
Of course.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Of
sweet.
course. Best case scenario, all games get postponed.
On the bright side, my alarm goes off in 5 hours.
Yeah. You guys want to go to bed? Let's
I still
get
have to
out of
pack it.
here then.
I do too.
So everyone who watched, we thank you. As always, go ahead. Where's Matt in the comments? Go ahead and like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Become a member for 99 cents. Get all the cool emojis and perks. Join our Patreon if you want for $4.99. Cody just had the Patreon giveaway today. I missed that too. So I don't even know what we gave away, but things were given away. So
I
congrats
think it
to
was a
those who
Mitch
won.
Keller nameplate.
I think that's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do recall that. So,
Also,
yeah.
for everybody, Friday, 7 p.m. after the Pirates game, Pirates have a day game, 7 p.m. Cheer on your Louisville Cardinals against the. All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.